So as you can see in the figure, magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole, and in between the magnet, the magnetic lines move from south to north, whereas outside the magnet, the magnetic fields will produce from north to south pole. Okay, so this is called magnet. Next, we have studied that there are three types of materials. First type of material is diamagnetic material. Second type of a material is paramagnetic material. And third type of a material is ferro. These materials use this diamagnetic material use copper, silver, and gold for the creation of a diamagnetic material, whereas this paramagnetic material contain magnesium and lithium. Okay, so ferromagnetic material used iron, nickel, and cobalt. So these are three type of materials. They can be used for the this magnetism. Okay, so what is the magnetism? Magnetism is produced by the effect of electric current. Okay, when we supply some current, then magnetism will produced in a coil. Okay, so what is magnetic field? The region around the magnet where its poles exhibit a force of attraction or repulsion. As we have seen in the last lecture, that there are two poles, one is north pole and another one is south pole. When we do similar poles in nearby, then they will repel with each other. If we take two different poles like north or south, they will attract with each other. So these fields will be responsible for these properties. Okay, so next we have studied what is magnetic flux. So amount of magnetic lines of force set up in magnetic circuit is called a magnetic flux. So its unit is Weber. We have studied magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux density at a point is a flux per unit area at right angle to this magnetic flux density using flux upon area. Okay, so how much flux will pass through particular area? We find out this magnetic flux density using this formula. So its unit is Weber per meter square. Is the ability of a material to conduct the magnetic line of force through it. Okay, so we have derived the naught is 4 pi into 10 raised to a minus 7. Okay, so magnetic field intensity can be represented by H. So the force acting on unit north pole in Webers and placed at a point in a magnetic field. So its formula is H is equal to mmf divided by length of the magnetic path. So how we have calculated mmf? N into I, where N is the number of turn, I is the current, and divided by the L. L is the length of the magnetic path. So next we have studied in the previous lecture relative permeability. It is the ratio. Okay, it is the ratio of permeability of material mu to the permeability of air or vacuum. Okay, so it can be represented by this. Okay, mu r is equal to mu upon mu naught. Whereas the relative permeability for air is 1 and non-magnetic material it is also 1. For soft iron it is 8000. Okay, it is predefined. So in the previous lecture we have studied this MMF. So what is MMF? MMF is magnetomotive force. It can be represented by N into I. Okay, so next we have studied reluctance. It is similar to the resistance. Okay, so when we consider opposition offered in a magnetic flux by a magnetic circuit, it is called the reluctance. Okay, then we have studied the reluctivity. It is analogous to the resistivity. Okay, and reluctance is the analogous to the magnetic circuit. Here we use the electricity to generate this we use this resistivity. In a magnetic circuit, we use the reluctance. Okay. In the last lecture, we have studied this BH curve. In this BH curve, we have defined H and B, as you can see right here. But is H? Write in chat box. But is H and B? What is B? What is H? Write in chat box. And in one axis there is magnetic field intensity. So B is the density and I is the intensity. Okay. So there are three type of material we have discussed. So there is a cast iron, steel, and there is a cast steel or a sheet steel. So when you increase some magnetic fields, okay, so B is magnetic field density and this H is magnetic field intensity. So when you increase the magnetic fields, okay, so this flux density will also increase. So there are 2 points in any one of the material. When you use any one of material, there are 2 points. One point is A and second point is B. So A point is called a start point and B point is called as a saturation point. From A point, our material gets started conducting from A to B. When it reaches at point B, it saturates. Saturate means after that, if you increase the intensity of, will not be changed. It remain the same. Okay. So your material behave in a similar manner in every point of time if you increase the intensity of these magnetic fields. Here, so you can see right here the value for this B magnetic field density. So this value for B is increasing from 0.5 to 1.5. The iron material, the magnetic field density is 0.5 and the value for this H magnetic field intensity is 500, okay, ampere turn per meter. Clear? So when you increase this intensity, then this density is also increasing. So but at particular point that cannot increase beyond this 1.5. okay, so you can see in sheet steel this 1.5 is the maximum flux density. Okay, if you increase the intensity of these magnetic fields, the density is not increasing, it remain constant for longer time. So Faraday's law for electromagnetic inductions. So this is a magnet. So with the help of this magnet, these fields will be generated inside and outside of this magnet. So how to find out the directions? Okay. Faraday, it states that whenever a current carrying current conductor is placed in a varying magnetic field, an EMF is induced. Okay, so as you can see right here, we have placed this conductor inside these wires. Okay, then EMF is going to be generated. If the conductor circuit is closed, current will be induced, which is called induced current. Okay, in a conductor circuit, a closed current will be induced. Second law states that an induced EMF is equal to the rate of change of flux linkage. Okay, the flux linkage is equal to the product of turns N of a coil and flux associated with it.